bad a person might be, there is always hope, and there is always, maybe hope. And you should never give up. And, I didn't. I still wanted to go to America. Now, where that big desire came from is the following. As I told you, with all these people streaming into that little tiny town, and every little room was absolutely filled to capacity, and everything was totally uncertain. My parents hung on me a little plaque, and it said on the one side, my Uta, etc., and who the parents are, and so, and on the back, the address of an American family. I had several relatives, several branches of relatives in this country, but those people had been visiting Germany as I was a little kid. And when they heard that I was so much wanting to go to America, they said, why don't we invite her? Now, meanwhile, I was in West Germany, taking a little job here and a little job there, and had a wonderful time. And suddenly, there was a letter from America, and in it, a flight ticket. And I just about fell off the chair. Totally unexpected. How that could be, it must have been some kind of a voucher. Because, how could it be just a flight ticket? But that's what I thought it was, and it was. But I wrote back to them, thanking them very, very much. But could I please come by boat? Such audacity. And my goodness. And why? Because all my childhood, and all that confusion, and all that uncertainty, I dreamt of being on an ocean liner. and I'm going to America, of all places. And that was, I couldn't give up on that thought. And they did, indeed, exchange that ticket. And when I finally came to their place, which, by the way, is that mansion. I don't know if you saw that little flyer I passed around. Mm-hmm. How does that mansion fit into all of that destruction and so? And that was that mansion. And in that mansion, I was refugee number 16 over many years. And I have the feeling that Paul Harris, now I have this placard totally removed from these, because it was a totally different life. A very well-to-do family with a factory, and but very good people. And I want to read something again. Because I think I'm out of time. Dadi allotted me. No, but here, the German magazine. German Life, to which you are all welcome. There's many copies there. And on page 19 is an ad for that mansion, which by now is that mansion on page number 19 is like a cultural and a center for fun, of course, but also for religious understanding, mutual understanding among the religions. And that came about because, number one, in the line of refugees was a cousin 30 times removed or something. who was a pastor by trade, but in seminary he lost his faith. And it was a terrible thing for the family. He was thrown out of one job where he was preaching to soldiers of all people and to have kind of unorthodox ideas in the king's soldiers. That was in the 1880s, I think. He couldn't find another job with that kind of reputation. So he went to England, as I had thought I would go to England to first learn English. How would I fare in America if I don't even know any English? When that invitation came, and I asked, what is my job? And the answer said, well, you help in the household and so, and you teach our grandchildren and neighborhood children German. And I said, I don't even know English. Just the better, because the less English you know, the better will the kids learn German. And they did. And I am very proud to report to you that by the end of my kind of contracted year, I was able to put on for like an audience like that in a similar kind of atmosphere about 45 minutes of German songs and plays and little sayings and little readings, and that was my grand exit from there. But I've been back there many times, or not many, but a number of times, and it's really a remarkable place and a remarkable family. And when I first saw that ad in the German Life magazine, I wrote to German Life, make sure you all get a copy. There are more than, I mean, if you want German, you don't have to. What an exciting surprise it was to find the article on the Hegler-Kerres mansion in German Life. As a youngster from war and post-war torn East Germany, then GDR, I was given the incredible fortune to spend a year in the Kerres family at the height of the Cold War, while the Berlin Wall was being built, a true Cinderella story American version. I was Cinderella number 16 and came from one of 36, imagine that, European families sustained by packages individually prepared and wrapped by Dorothy Kerres, containing almost anything eminently useful, from shoe soles to bicycle tires to vegetable seeds, canned food and clothing, school supplies, and once an unforgettable, colorful package of rubber bands. Colorful rubber bands. What an excitement that was. Your article gives me a chance to offer a public thank you to this remarkable family which is now offering its rich family history to public enjoyment and furtherance in the mansion, where on November 20th, the oldest family member will have lived continuously 100 years, having been born in it. A big appropriate celebration, etc. Among many others, I carried from this, my first year in America, 3 principles throughout my life. 1, be helpful and of service. 2, when you go out, pick up the litter and put it into the next available trash can. If you can't find one, take it home for proper disposal. My hosts were godlike creatures, truly, to me. Yet they bent to the ground to pick up other people's trash, hundreds and thousands of times. 3, reverse the image of the ugly American in any way your circumstances allow. For example, international exchanges, perhaps pioneered by grandfather Paul Carus, honored in this, and his wife, Mary, honored in this over here. And, introduce the pages of your application. P.S. Besides Americanizing myself, oh, you know that already, teach German, etc. Yeah, that's it. And the end was here yet that I always wanted to be an ant in America. And I made it. So, and now it's your turn, questions, comments, whatever. Thanks for your attention and your interest.
Did you say there were questions or no?
Yes.
It was somebody. Yeah. Okay. Wait. No. So that year that you're talking about, that was your last year in Germany?
No, my first year here.